everybody. Hey, welcome everybody to this latest episode of Movies America. Spoiler warning. I am your humble host, Van Ebert. Yes, I don't know what I'm doing with my hand there, but okay. Yeah, hey, welcome on in, everybody that's joined me already. Hey, salute to you. I'll tell you. Thanks for being prompt. I tell you, punctuality is always rewarded here at Movies America. Spoiler warning. And just right from the jump here, because I never want to hesitate in telling you this, as the title of the show does explicitly imply, there are going to be major spoilers. There you go. With this show here regarding the Equalizer 3. So, yeah, if you have been warned. So, skedaddle now if you don't want to have it spoiled there for you. I don't know. Do people use the word skedaddle anymore? I think only old people use the word skedaddle. Okay. Anyway. I guess I'm old. There you go. I'm using the word skedaddle. Yeah, so we're going to get into the Equalizer 3. We'll talk about the fighting and the action scenes. We'll talk about the plot points, that kind of thing. We'll talk about, hey, how does the Equalizer stack up against somebody like John Wick? Okay, we're going to have a little showdown. Okay, a little showdown between the Equalizer and John Wick, okay? And then we're going to talk about the top 5 Denzel Washington movies, all right? So, does that sound good to you guys? Does that sounds exciting, right? All right, so, I mean, who doesn't love Denzel? Come on, Denzel. It's been a force since like the mid-'80s, I tell you. So we're going to get ready to tantalize and equalize tonight. But before we get too far into this, I'm going to give you something to dance to.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies America.
That's right, my masters of rock. Welcome into this spoiler warning Movies America show. Absolutely. And hey, you know what? Just before I forget to tell you guys, yeah, definitely get in the live chat on Rumble and YouTube. Okay, so because I want to hear from you. I don't want to just be talking to myself because that'd be pretty weird, be pretty bizarre. I mean, I do a lot of weird and bizarre shit, but I don't want to do that here on camera. So, hey, get in the live chat. Talk to me, please. Talk to me about John Wick 3, please. John Wick 3, the Equalizer 3. I'm getting my movies all scrambled up in my head. Yeah, so you can live chat with me on Rumble, YouTube. If you live chat with me on YouTube, I can put your comment right here on the screen down below, okay? And now if I deem it, if I recognize it's a little too embarrassing for you, you know, if I were to put it up, it would embarrass you. I will not put that up. I do have some measure of discretion here. So yes, a measure of judgment. So I will not do that, okay? But yeah, let's get right into the Equalizer 3 because that's what this episode is all about. Enough yapping out of me about everything else. And so the Equalizer 3, if you saw my spoiler-free review of it that came out last Sunday, I wasn't really that impressed with the Equalizer 3, to be honest with you. I thought it was just too slow, plotted along. It just was too much of a slow burn for a movie that advertises itself as this action movie, right? We've got this one-man army, you know, of Robert McCall, the Equalizer, and just too slow, but I can appreciate a slow burn movie. Excuse me. And, you know, and some movies can give you a slow burn movie in an entertaining way. Think of the movie Drive with Ryan Gosling, okay? No one's going to mistake that movie for Top Gun Maverick, okay? The movie Drive with Ryan Gosling is a very slow burn, but it's got, you know, high style to it. And it's got this cool factor to it, this cool 80s vibe, even though it came out like in 2011. But it's going for like a retro 80s coolness to it. And so but it does it purposefully, okay? And it doesn't advertise itself as some slam, bam, thank you, ma'am, action, just, explosions and guns, every 5 seconds. Like it doesn't advertise itself as that kind of movie. So that movie is slow, but in an entertaining and very cool way. Where the Equalizer 3, the way the trailers would have you what they would have you think is, this movie is going to be slam bang action, from start to finish. You're going to buy your seat, but you're only going to need the edge, right? Because you're just going to be sitting on the edge of your seat the whole time from all this action in this Equalizer 3 movie, and it just wasn't that, okay? And now at the very beginning, as we saw, it started out with some very cool, ominous danger and like the after effects, right, of the Equalizer, Robert McCall going into that farm, that winery there in Sicily, and apparently he just tore shit up. Okay, apparently they didn't find him to be a very welcoming house guest. Okay, because I guess when the Equalizer showed up, these guys were like, all right, time to unload some mags of this guy, and Robert McCall was not having that at all, okay? I mean, those guys were like, yeah. So left and right, like the Equalizer was going hallway to hallway, taking out, motherfuckers. It was like ending lives and shit, and you saw the after effects of that. And so over and over, man, the Equalizer was like,
gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, left and right. And so we see like a mobster. I believe that's the impression that they gave you of this character. Like this mobster and his young son or grandson or whatever shows up, and, and he looks around, like, oh shit, like something's going down. Like he sees dead bodies and stuff, and doesn't know what the hell's going on. And then, so that part of it, that movie was kind of, part of it was entertaining, because it lets you know what's up, or what you think is what's up with the rest of the movie. You're like, wow, this movie is bloody as hell. It's gory for an action movie already. I mean, it's not up to like RoboCop levels of gore, but I mean, we got, meat cleavers and guys, people in guys' faces and shit, throats slit. I mean, just, obviously, gunshot wounds left and right, as this mobster's walking through his farmhouse. And, eventually they do get to Robert McCall, the Equalizer. He's just sitting out. He's just chilling out. He's got a bottle of vino there with his glass, and he's wiping it off, with a hanky or something, and just chilling, right? He's just like he's just like you're sitting in your living room, drinking a beer, watching a movie. You're just all chilled out, right? You're just chillaxing. Well, that's what Denzel is doing in this scene, where you and I, we would be shitting our pants because he has a couple of baddies pointing guns at him. And then here comes the big bad, the big mafia guy, and, at that point, you and I, we would think, it's our ass, man. I was like, man, I knew I should have filled out that last will and testament last week. But, now I'm about to die. Well, Robert McCall, the Equalizer, he knows what's up. He knows he's about to take these bastards out. And so he's just sitting there, just chillaxing, relaxing, cleaning off a wine glass with his hanky, and looks like he's about to, bust open a bottle of vino. And then that's when, again, the big mafia guy walks in, and how did you find me? And, all that shit. And then we get a good action scene, right? We get, the Equalizer, equalizing guys, right? So ending lives, as you are accustomed to seeing in an Equalizer movie. And so that part, I was like, okay, this has got some, this has got promise. Okay, I mean, this is what I expected when I go to an Equalizer movie, gets Denzel Washington fucking guys up. I mean, but then after that, he goes back outside. He basically lets his guard down around the little kid. The little kid like blasts him in the back with a shotgun or whatever, or a rifle or whatever it was. And we see, the Equalizer. He a little kid of all people gets the drop on him, and he turns his back at the wrong time, and he gets shot. And that's when I was like, okay, all right. I think if the Equalizer was on top of his game, he would have at least made sure that the kid was unarmed and there were no firearms anywhere near him. But he unwisely thought, oh, this kid's an innocent little child. What can he do? He won't try to do anything to me. And then next thing you know, boom, and next thing you know, the Equalizer has got some buckshot or a round in his back, from this kid, shooting him. So, and then after that, it just slows way down. Okay, this whole movie just gets really slow, and at that point, I was like,
I gotta go take him.
I was like, okay, he's at this village. This doctor is fixing him up, saving his life. This cop finds him. This cop finds him. Is like, how does the cop not turn him in? To the cops. I mean, that's kind of hard to believe. Not that I would want that to happen to the Equalizer, but this cop doesn't know him from Adam, right? And so I would think that the cop would definitely, take him to the cops, take him to the hospital, or probably take him to the hospital first, right? And then obviously he'd get arrested, because it'd be like, okay, you got shot in the back. Like, what's going on? Oh, we just, found these dead bodies at this farmhouse. You're coming from that direction. You got shot. Put two and two together. So yeah, you would think that they would arrest him there, right?
Yeah,
exactly. So, but so it was kind of an unbelievable moment in that moment where the cop discovers him and just like la-di-da-di-da, I'll just take him to my good buddy Dr. Enzo over here and have him patched up. The cop didn't know him anything, right? The cop didn't know him at all, right? This is just some guy that's shot, sitting in a car, so you kind of had to really, really suspend your disbelief on that one. And but yeah, like I said, the point is, it's getting really slow at that point there. And so then, he gets fixed up. He's on the mend. They show him, going into the town. He's walking down the stairs and up the stairs. And that's when it really slows down. Am I right? He's like getting to know, he's going and talking to the townspeople and wandering around and, oh, hey, nice shop over there. And, oh, nice people over there. And, oh, look at those nice people. Oh, hey, there's the ocean over there. All right. Okay. And he's going up the stairs and down the stairs. And, it's like he's, got his Frommer's travel book, his, Frommer's travel book for Italy or Sicily or whatever, And, and I'm like, I'm watching this, how slow it is. And I'm like,
no, God, please, no.
yeah, I just want some action. And then I'm trying to think, like, when we get our first action there, because it's a while, I think, after that. I mean, they do cut to the baddies, right? The Sicilian mob, and they're talking to some couple, and they show, the old man in a wheelchair. And then they cut to outside, and apparently the Sicilian mob didn't like what this couple had told them. And so they hang this old guy that was in the wheelchair, it just obviously evil thing to do, right? I don't know if you'd call it action. That's just a very shocking moment there. And then you get the head Sicilian mobster's younger brother. He's roughing the townsfolks up and that kind of thing. And I guess it's kind of building up, building up to this confrontation between Robert McCall and the Sicilian mob, hassling all these nice people in this village named Altamonte. And the point I'm trying to make is, like, it got really boring. Okay, probably you're kind of getting bored at this at this explanation right here.
It's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
I feel you. So, but yeah, Denzel Washington, he's like the best part of this movie. I mean, like I said, my spoiler-free review, Denzel would actually really have to put in some serious work to suck in a performance. Okay, he's just a well-trained actor, and he's been at this, since the mid-'80s. I mean, he was Carbon Copy was like the first movie that I recall seeing him in. And that was like, came out in 84, 85. He was in the movie Power in 85, 86 with like Richard Gere and Gene Hackman. Then he was in what was that? Was Cry Freedom was another movie in the 80s he was in, where he played like Steve Bilko. I believe that was the character's name. The Mighty Quinn. And then the first movie that people really got to know Denzel Washington, and it was Glory, right? Because he won the Best Supporting Actor for Best Supporting Actor Oscar, I should say, for Glory, and then also he was in Saint Elsewhere, that old NBC hospital show from back in the 80s. He was in Saint Elsewhere for like 6 or 7 seasons or something like that that whole time. But Denzel's been at this thing for decades, right? All these great movies he's been in, we all know him for, and all that experience pays off in every movie that he's in. He has no pretension about him. He doesn't hold back or anything like that. So we could see the benefits of that. So I see out of my right eye here, I see a little live chat from Dear Sarge. Hey, welcome, my man. Welcome. Don't know too many other guys that remember Carbon Copy. Great movie. Yep. I remember that. I saw it when I was a little kid. I remember I was at one of my aunt's houses with my brothers and sisters, and she had HBO, and she would just flipped on HBO or Showtime or something like that, and all of a sudden Carbon Copy's on. So it's surreal watching Denzel Washington movies now, remembering him back in the Carbon Copy days, The Mighty Quinn, and Power, and all that. His character on Power reminded me a lot of kind of the mannerisms of his character in The Pelican Brief with Julia Roberts there. So, Dear Sarge, he's thinking the Carbon Copy came out in 1980 or 81, but too lazy to check. I feel you, man. I can relate. If I had to guess, if one of these bad guys in the Equalizer 3 was holding a gun to my head and was making me guess what year Carbon Copy came out, I'm going to guess like 84. I'm going to guess 1984. Okay, so now maybe my brains would be right on that wall right now, because I could be wrong. But hey, we got Professor Savage Dad up in the live chat on Rumble as well. So good to see you, my brother. And Professor Savage Dad, let us know, hey, when's your next Dadcast episode? Because Professor Savage Dad is in the content creation game as well, entertaining the masses with his Dadcast show that you can catch here on Rumble as well. I think you typically do it on Friday nights, but I think you said you might be on Saturday. But yeah, throw that date and time at me, man. I will shout that out right here. But yeah, hitting Dear Sarge, definitely. I appreciate you just giving me whatever time you got. Okay. And anybody who's watching in the background, get here in the live chat. Don't just be in the live, back in the background there. I mean, I appreciate you watching in the back, and if that's what you want to do, if that's the only thing you want to push come to shove, that's fine. That's fine. But I definitely want to hear from you. In the live chat. At least you can just give me a thumbs up or a hi, or put a poop emoji out there. In the live chat. But again, if you're a little shy, or you just you're in the middle of you're making some rotini and your hands aren't exactly free, so you can't live chat. I totally understand that as well. So Yoma63 is in the house. Hey, Yoma63, appreciate you showing up here and showing some support. Yeah, there we go. I'm feeling the love here in the live chat. So, and definitely. So Dear Sarge, like I said, everyone's multitasking, and I just appreciate you guys fitting me in here with your multitasking there. But hey, let me know, what's your favorite Denzel Washington movie in the live chat? Okay, just get the old hamster wheel going in your brain, and think let me know what your favorite Denzel movie is. I definitely want to know. Okay, all right, so I was just saying that Denzel Washington, I think, is the best part of the movie. He's the only reason to watch this movie. He's the only thing that holds your attention in this movie. Because he's so charismatic. He basically does the best, most smooth shit talking to all the bad guys that he's about to dispatch, right? Like I said, he ends lives, right? He ends lives of the bad guys, and he makes sure that he gives them a sinister, deadly monologue before he does it, right? And to his credit, and he always gives them a chance. He always say, hey, you can walk away right now. Stop doing this bad shit you're doing. And of course, all the bad guys like, fuck yeah, I'm going to keep doing. And then next thing, you're dead. You're dead. Equalizer killed you. Well, you know what? Let's talk about another action franchise here. We're gonna match up the Equalizer with John Wick. Shall we, everybody? Shall we? Okay, because John Wick is another action franchise that is very popular, right around this time for the last few years. I personally like the John Wick series better than the Equalizer series there. I just think overall, top to bottom, the movies are better, more plentiful action. The action is just better in substance and whatnot. But the Equalizer, I think it's trying to be a different beast. It's not trying to be John Wick, so I do have to say that there. But yeah, so let's do this here. Let's check this out. Let's do a little matchup, little tail of the tape here. So basically, how I'm going to do this when in this showdown between the Equalizer and John Wick, like who would beat who, right? The Equalizer versus John Wick. Okay. So I've got categories that I'm going off of with this the showdown that I'm talking about here. This matchup between these two titans of the deadly arts, right? And so we got fighting, of course. Fighting is a category. Scenario assessment, them walking into a room and checking out, hey, what's the scenario, right before I'm about to start kicking some serious ass. Durability, like, how well can they take a punch or getting rammed, into by a car and bounce back up, right? Okay. Age is a factor, right? If you're, doing a hand-to-hand combat thing, if you're going mano-a-mano, another person trying to kill you, age is definitely, can be a factor there. And then finally, the last category is best shit talking. Okay. All right. Because we do see the Equalizer in particular do some pretty damn smooth, silky shit talking, some last words for his about to be victims there. Okay. But yeah, let's here, let me do this. Let's check out this, y'all. And all right. Let's just get some videos going on here. And we're going to show you like some fighting videos. Let's start off with John Wick 3 here. We're going to get this going on. All right, let's get this going on. This is the very beginning. All right. And let's go over here. Let's do this. We'll get this working some here. Okay. Share screen. All right. And there we go. All right. So yeah, it's going a little slow here. So there we go. There we go, everybody. Hey, we just got to kick it in gear here. Gets us going on. All right. So let's do that. Let's see how that's working. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's do this. So yeah, like I said, this is the first video is just Keanu Reeves training for one of the John Wick movies here, just to give you a little flavor, because we're gonna look at Denzel training for the Equalizer here, but I want to give you a little video background going on. So let's do this.
Was a golden rule that very few even directors know. There's no separation between story and action. The story doesn't stop because you start driving a car or start shooting a gun.
For me, action has always been about, if I'm there, then that connection between the audience and I and the character is close to visceral emotional impact. Over the years of doing the John Wick training, the physicality, the martial arts, and then the weapon work, I've gotten better. So I'm really the ceiling, because the vision is always bigger than me. And when you're the limit, you can always get better, because the vision is always greater than you. And for me, it's such a pleasure and a pressure. Also, it's the best kind of, like, you've got to be better to realize the vision, because then the character and the story can be more profound. And with John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum.
All right, let's skip ahead here a little bit.
For 6 months and just get
talk about some more of like what he's doing to work out and train and that kind of thing.
Literally
right here.
Be trained as a martial arts stunt performer. Your own falls, your own rides, your own cars, your own motorcycles, and get in the mix.
I think if there's any other action actor or actor, there wouldn't be a John Wick. I think he's the only one that can play him. He can do everything. He's just as good as any stunt guy out there.
Keanu has spent over 1,000 hours with Taron Butler, one of the best three-gun firearm champions in the world. He spent thousands of hours with the 8711 stunt team, learning judo, jiu-jitsu, sambo, and all the arts that come along with it. Not just the art form of martial arts, but the choreography sense of it, the endurance sense of it. And being over 50, the physical limitations that one gets at that age has to be overcome with even more hours of physical fitness.
Train him. We'll go for hours and hours and hours, and he just won't stop.
I mean, you don't get to show up and do what he does without having a stellar work ethic. He's determined, he's relentless in his pursuit. He's talented in this area, and he's fearless. He will try and do anything, and he won't stop until he gets it right. He puts in the time, and you can't be John Wick if you didn't really go to the gym, go to the training facility, and actually put in the work.
Eric Brown and Chad, they made him
Halle Berry. That is all. Let's continue.
an actual judo person. That's what he's accomplished over these 3 movies.
You can't just do one take and move on. It is 12 hours a day for weeks, sometimes months of action. In John Wick 3, 5 months of nothing but action sequences is a lot. In the rain, in New York, running up and down Fifth Avenue, riding horses, riding motorcycles, and getting the shit kicked out of you by some of the best martial arts stuntmen in the business. That takes a level of commitment that is not normal.
It's demanding. But that demanding, that thing, is also, it's pleasure, right?
All right, so that's Keanu right there. So yeah, I just want to give you a little taste as far as the training that Keanu Reeves needed to do or needs to do, and I'm sure he's still doing it because there's going to be another John Wick movie. You just know it here. But yeah, just showing you all the different trainings and repetitions that he has to do, not just in hand-to-hand fighting, but with gunplay. Obviously, you saw him riding a horse, so he had to get that skill down if he didn't already have that. He's working with all kinds of different fighting disciplines, that kind of thing. But all right, so let's move on to the Equalizer. Let's give Equalizer a day, right? Let's give the Equalizer its time. Okay. Oops.
Look at that.
Let's try that again.
Martial arts type fighting.
Denzel was like a little kid. He was excited to get back in there and do these things.
He didn't want a lot of martial arts type fighting. He wanted straight, kind of street, slick, creative fighting.
He takes care of business. You don't want to get in his way, but it's not with a gun.
I haven't looked at what we've done, but I know I win. You're right.
The person that did this was highly skilled, possibly.
All right, let's move on here.
I made it very close.
More training.
It's just one of those deals where you almost have to see him like 95% of the time.
So Keith Willard right there, he's ex-Navy SEAL. I don't know if he caught that or not. So he obviously knows what he's doing there. I mean, they do train you up a little bit, in the Navy SEAL on fighting, that kind of thing, BUDS training and beyond. So just a little bit.
We wanted him to do it all. That's why we started about a month before shooting in LA and started training him.
We'd work together and do sort of a mixed martial arts workout 3 times a week.
There's some variations of many things. There is some amount of martial arts, but most of it is, street fighting and cage fighting, things you learn along the way. Like I learned from the military, special abilities, special forces, techniques. You come here, you gotta let it go.
He got Denzel on a schedule that I cannot believe he got him on. He had Denzel boxing, training, fighting.
Once we got him going and working out every day, and I'm not, bragging him up, but he's pretty damn quick.
Denzel would not do the movie if he had to use a gun. He wouldn't have done it.
Hands where I could see him.
It is a staple of big Hollywood movies, and we
in that room on the deflations. So if a fight does break out, you want to use everything in that room on the
I'm skipping ahead because I'm just trying to get to the meat of what I want to portray here with each of these fighting videos and whatnot. So no need to play the whole exact thing or the whole thing, but let's continue.
Well, there's your chair. There's the camera there next to you that could be slammed into your head. Everything's a weapon.
I met with a friend of mine who does these things for a living. He laid out all these different things in the room. He said, look, if you're in a bar or the place, these are the things that would be useful to me. He pulled out these corkscrews and did this. And I immediately saw Denzel, because Denzel boxes.
You can reach. You see what I'm saying? Which is
second guy's on him. And then the second guy's on him. And then, you know, that move is even quicker.
Yeah, leave that moving. And as I reach, you can reach. You see what I'm saying? Which is later than this shot.
Once McCall throws somebody or kicks somebody a certain direction, then that gives us time to deal with that next person that's coming in.
Action.
These things don't last long. It's not going to be, 5 minutes of action. It's going to be actually really 15 seconds of action.
So yeah, I think you guys get the idea there with that. And so yeah, I mean, obviously both Keanu Reeves and Denzel, they're putting in hours, days, weeks, months of training for these roles. Okay, this isn't them training for a rom-com or something like that. Okay, this isn't Keanu training for his, that rom-com movie, A Walk in the Clouds that he was in, or Denzel training to be in on The Preacher's Wife he was in back in the 90s. So this is them, at their action best, and having to learn the skills and not and not electing to just leave everything up to a stunt double, right? They want to get involved. And so as you saw, Denzel's right there in the mix with the Navy SEAL stunt coordinator, giving them ideas as far as what you could do here. Okay, after this guy's arm goes this way, then I could come that way, and then I could come up there and with this, and he's getting into it, right? He's losing himself in the role, and Keanu Reeves does the exact same thing here. Let me show you this other thing here before I do that. Yeah, let me check live chat here real quick. Denzel, according to Yoma63, Denzel has been in 47 movies. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, his you look at his filmography, man, it is quite impressive. Dear Sarge, Equalizer, man, Denzel is a great actor. He could even play an old white English guy. Remember the show from the 80s? I don't recall that. The closest thing to that I can recall is when he was in that Much Ado About Nothing, the Kenneth Branagh movie of the Shakespeare play, Much Ado About Nothing, where, he definitely played, a Shakespearean character. So definitely not an old English white guy. So I'm sure that's not what you're thinking of there, dear Sarge. And Yoma63's favorite Denzel movie is The Book of Eli. It's a good pick. So it's that has a great twist at the end, a fantastic twist at the end, and Denzel fucks people up in that movie too. So definitely, yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, getting some good interactions here. Yeah, getting some good back and forth here in the live chat. So keep it up, everybody. Keep it up. But yeah, Book of Eli, a good pick there. You'll see my top 5, in my humble opinion, my top 5 Denzel movies a little bit later on. Absolutely. So let me show you this other video here too. It just came to mind, y'all. I don't want to deprive you guys of all these great videos here. Don't want to deprive you. Come on. I can't do that to you, man. I cannot do that. We're at the mercy of the speed of YouTube here, so. So this is Keanu, and I think this must have been when he was training for John Wick 3, because that's Halle Berry right there. Yeah. Sorry, trying not to be such a simp over here. So because Halle Berry obviously was in John Wick 3, and so yeah, this is them both training at Terran Tactical in California. I think just a little bit outside of LA is where Terran Tactical is, and Terran Tactical is where a lot of Hollywood stars go to train with firearms. There, obviously, because of its location there. And so you'll see like guys like Chris Pine show up there. Denzel, I think, has been out there as well. Just any actions. Or Chris Hemsworth, I think, went out there for his Extraction movies there. So just any kind of action star you can think of. Probably they've been out at Terran Tactical. Okay, but with that being said, let's get right into it.
You ready? Stand by.
Stand by.
I love how he does that quad loading right there with the shells. So badass.
That was awesome.
Yeah, so I just wanted to show you just, the weapons training, the firearms training that Keanu did right there. So, because with the John Wick movies, they incorporate guns into those movies a lot more than they do with the Equalizer movies. Okay, so I mean, gun fu, right? That's the term that's been coined with the John Wick movies. When those first came out, when John Wick, the very first one came out, and you saw this character, John Wick, just incorporating like speed loading and taking motherfuckers out left and right with, guns left, here and there, and with guns, lots of guns, as Keanu would say. The term gun fu was created there. So, but yeah, so I mean, that is kind of wet your whistle here with the matchup, the big showdown between the Equalizer and John Wick. And so as far as the fighting goes, so Equalizer, as you heard in the video there with Denzel training, you heard the Navy SEAL. It says that Equalizer essentially incorporates just boxing and street fighting into the techniques that Robert McCall, the Equalizer, uses. And that's all per Denzel's request, okay? Whereas like John Wick, I mean, he incorporates judo, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, karate, taekwondo, akali from the Philippines, kung fu, samba from Russia, shoot wrestling, aikido, ninjutsu, salat from Malaysia and Indonesia, and of course the previously mentioned gun fu. Okay, and the Equalizer, he uses hardly any of those. Like I said, he just uses boxing and street fighting techniques. And he definitely doesn't use gun fu. He tends to stay away from guns, and that's another Denzel request. Now, does Equalizer never use guns? No, he uses guns. He just uses them sparingly, whereas John Wick just can't get enough of the guns, man. He's just popping off rounds left and right, because that's the nature of the other assassins that he's going up against. I mean, they're packing, okay. They're not packing axes and swords and shit. Okay, like this is the medieval times. They're packing weaponry, heavy weaponry. Like guns with big mags and that kind of shit. So he's got to respond in kind. So with the fighting category in this showdown between the Equalizer and John Wick John Wick wins the fighting category. Okay, so ding, 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 ding. Yes, one for John Wick. All right, so our second category between the Equalizer and John Wick in this showdown is scenario assessment, okay? And as you see pointedly in the Equalizer movies, the Equalizer, makes a point of visualizing McCall looking around the room at the people and the objects to figure out, how he's going to win, how he's going to take these motherfuckers out, right? And the John Wick movies, they don't really focus on that. They don't do this. Now, that doesn't mean that John Wick isn't doing that too. It's just they don't show it. And now, based off of like the highly hazardous multi-person, multi-adversary scenarios that you see John Wick in, a good example is in the latest John Wick movie, John Wick 4, right? Where he goes to that nightclub and he's got the showdown with the big Russian dude, right? The big, massive, like no neck, Russian guy. And then Donnie Yen shows up, and then the new character, the black guy, I forget, he shows up, and John Wick is surrounded by baddies, okay? He's in this tough scenario like you see Robert McCall, the Equalizer, in. And just because they don't show John Wick in slow motion, checking out, oh, there's a wine cork over there, and oh, there's a knife over there, and oh, there's a pool cue over there. It doesn't mean that John Wick isn't doing that, okay? But they just choose not to visualize that in the John Wick movies, okay? But with the Equalizer movies, they do show that. Robert McCall, they do show that. And so when it comes to scenario assessment, ding, 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 Equalizer wins that category of the big showdown here. So, all right. Okay, so let's check out here. I got some good comments here. Trevor, and here, this isn't the start of the NFL season. No. It is not there. So yeah, but it's got some high caliber action going on with this show, and hopefully I don't fumble this, with this show here. But yeah, not the start of the NFL season. There, I know that is tonight. So is it the Chiefs versus the Lions? I don't even watch the NFL anymore. That shit just got too damn political for me. Like the minute with the George Floyd thing and all that stuff, because I used to be a Minnesota Vikings fan. And fuck, I ate, slept, and breathed the Vikings. And then when they invited George Floyd's family, to the stadium, and George Floyd is like a criminal dumbass, a fucking evil motherfucker. They invited his family to the stadium there. But then there was not to get too sad and dour, and Trevor Whitaker. Trevor's probably sorry he even mentioned the NFL to me now. But they had like a shooting over like one of the Twin City suburbs, like a few months before George Floyd got killed, and the shooting took out like a little 5-year-old little boy. Okay. And the Vikings, did they invite that little 5-year-old little boy's family to their stadium? Fuck no. But they invite this family of this fucking well-known long rap sheet scumbag that happened to get killed on camera, and the whole fucking world saw it. And so they invited his fucked up family to their fucking stadium. That combined with the fact that they're playing that separate black national anthem, at least before like the first game of the season, that was too much for me. I was like, fuck the NFL, fuck it right in the ass, fuck it. Other than that, I like the NFL. Yeah, Trevor's like, I'm so sorry I mentioned that. And Trevor's like, shouldn't the Equalizer be tied with John Wick? So not quite as we go further and further into this showdown here. So one does have the edge. All things being equal, yeah. So, or as I say for this Equalizer week, all things being Equalizer. Trevor, sorry you had to endure being a Vikings fan. Yeah. That was not easy. It was not easy because, and then on top of that, I'm a Cubs fan as well. So I'm really a glutton of punishment. So, and that's the thing. The Vikings, just being epic chokers and not really doing everything that they need to do to win. Okay, to win the big game. It made it a little easier not to be a Vikings fan anymore. Not to watch the NFL. Period. So obviously that means I'm not a Vikings fan anymore. But yeah, the Vikings just they just didn't have that it, right? You know, like the Patriots, you know, the Cowboys in the 90s, the Chiefs now. They just don't have the smarts, the instincts it takes to make the decisions that you know that will get them to a Super Bowl win. They just don't. I mean, the last time they were in the Super Bowl was in the fucking 70s. At least in the 70s, we got to the Super Bowl. Now the Vikings can't even get to the Super Bowl, okay? Every single time they go to the NFC Championship game, they lose. But anyway, it's enough about the Vikings and NFL and all that. So, but I appreciate you joining the show there, Trevor. Thank you for the comments there. So as you see with Trevor, if you comment, live chat on YouTube, I can put that up on the screen. Yeah, so, all right, let's check out the live chat on Rumble here. And yeah, what we got? Professor Savage Dad with Dadcast. So he's Professor Savage Dad. He has his own show called Dadcast, and he says it's on Fridays or Saturdays at 8 p.m. Dadcast should be more regular soon, but my casting schedule or casting schedule needs some fiber. Okay. I don't know what that means, but okay. All right. Yeah, and Yomo63 giving him a follow. Good for you, Yomo63. All right. And Professor Savage Dad, yeah, work is a bitch today. I can relate, my brother. I can relate. So, but I just appreciate you joining. And Astro Sweat, Denzel has less chance to pull an Alec. Was it be like an Alec Baldwin, like accidentally smoking somebody? Yeah. There we go. So now Alec Baldwin does make a cameo in the Equalizer 3 spoiler-free review that I did back on Sunday. So yeah, if you want to go to my Movies America Rumble page or Till Death podcast page on YouTube, yeah, check out my Equalizer 3 spoiler-free review and check out the Alec Baldwin cameo on there. So absolutely. Yeah, Dear Sarge. Dear Sarge has some thoughts on the NFL. I will just put it that way. Yeah, screw those kneeling pud chuggers. I like that. That part I can read. Yeah, they just, yeah. Anyway, don't even get me started. I am not going to get started on that shit. All I got to say is the NFL.
She's gone from suck to blow.
Yeah, big time. So, all right, where were we? People like watch this like, what is this fucking Movies America and NFL warning? What the hell? I don't want to hear about I don't want to hear about some sports ball. Sports. I don't want to hear about sports. So far we've done the fighting category and the scenario assessment category. So John Wick won the fighting and Equalizer wins scenario. So we are tied 1-1. Our next category in this big showdown is durability. So McCall can take a punch and get pummeled and recover. I mean, we've seen that in the movies, right? I mean, very rarely does someone land a punch, land a blow on McCall, but sometimes he does. He does say don't take a blow and he recovers, okay? Like Barack Obama. Anyway, however, he's never encountered the type of numerous impacts that John Wick has encountered. I mean, and from a plethora of attackers. I mean, in Wick, he gets hit by a car, he gets shot point blank, he falls out of like, what was it, like a 5 or 6 story building in John Wick 4, and he just pretty much just goes, all right, I'm getting back in the fight. All right, I think I have a little pain right here in my shoulder, a little pain, you know. But man, it was way high up there. But hey, I can fight on. There we go. Let's where's the bad guy? It's time to keep kicking ass. Okay, so that's what happened with John Wick in the latest John Wick movie. So this guy is durable as hell. Okay, and so. You know, yeah, the Equalizer has never had to go through those extremes, in the movies there. So we don't know how he'd recover, okay? But we have to go with what we do know, okay? So for this one, ding, 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 John Wick wins this durability category. Yes. So far, it's John Wick winning 2-1. Astro Sweat, plethora. Drink! Dear Sarge, he's rolling to work. but we'll keep you rolling on phone, enjoying your full vocabulary. Thanks a lot, dear Sarge. Yeah, keep me rolling up on that phone. I appreciate you doing that. Helps with the watch minutes there. And again, that reminds me. Thank you for the reminder, dear Sarge. So even if you can't actively watch this show, at least have it on in the background. You can have the volume down. Even if you're watching this, you're like, oh, shit, this guy's going to talk about spoilers with John Wick 3. And I haven't seen John Wick 3. No worries, mate. No worries, mate. Okay, you can solve that easily, all right? All you got to do, I don't know why I want to throw you in there, but you can have the show on in the background on your phone or on your computer, something like that, and just have the volume down, and that helps me out, and I appreciate it. It's very easy. It's a very easy favor for you to do for me, okay? And if you are willing to do that, that'd be fantastic, okay? So what else we got here? All right, so yeah, get some good interaction here with the live chat. I appreciate you guys joining here. All right, so yeah, we score is 2-1, John Wick. Now let's move on to our next category, which is age. Okay, because like it or not, it is a factor in the movies, particularly movies that have to deal with characters that go hand-to-hand combat with baddies. So in the age category, pretty easy. Denzel right now is 68 years old. Keanu is 59. So ding, ding, ding. John Wick wins this one, okay? Now, age doesn't determine everything, right? I mean, we see Denzel, fucking guys up that are clearly younger than him in this, okay? But when you're talking about two matched fighters like this, okay, two matched action icons like this, then it does come into play and it becomes more relevant in this scenario. So, Keanu's 9 years, younger than Denzel. You got to incorporate it. So, yes, we've got John Wick winning the age category. So far, we've got Wick up ahead against the Equalizer at a score of 3-1. All right. And then our final category is best shit talking. Okay, because what is a classic action hero, a classic one-man army without some good shit talking? Okay, he brings the punches, he brings the kicks, okay, but you got to bring the verbal jabs as well. Okay, got to do it. And with this one, very easy. The Equalizer, hands down, wins this category. The Equalizer, I mean, Denzel, he just shit talks his opponents so much in these movies, and he does it with a slickness and he's very suave when he does it. Okay, so he's kind of like the Billy D. Williams or the Denzel Washington, I guess, a better example. The silky smooth Denzel Washington of pre-death shit talking. Okay, so at least he's singing the bad guys a sweet lullaby before he sings them a sweet lullaby with his fists, or a meat cleaver, or an axe, or something like that. Okay, so hands down with that, the Equalizer, he wins the best shit talking category, but it's still unfortunately for the Equalizer not enough to take this category because the final score is 3-2. John Wick takes the gold. Yes, takes the gold, everybody. All right. So, and I really need an applause sound effect right here. I realize that. But I'm just going to imagine you guys, giving John Wick some applause if you agree with my assessment, in the background right there. So, okay. But I just, when I knew I was doing this Equalizer review, and I did John Wick 4. I did the review for that a few months back, back in April, whenever that came out. I was like, I knew, okay, it's time. It is time. Okay. So just like sometimes, some dudes, doctors tell them, hey, that prostate exam, it's time. Okay. Well, something less disturbing than that is it was time for the Equalizer John Wick Showdown. Okay. All right. So hey, let's break it up a little bit, everybody. All right, let's break it up a little bit. And let me tell you all about TDPN.locals.com. TDPN as in Till Death Podcast Network. And that is our website where we have all our fantastic content, like our videos, our blogs, our articles, all about movies and entertainments and politics and hot button sizzling issues of the day and funny shit as well. And I'm not just, adding content to that website there. That's Ian, that's Sean. Sean likes to put in cocktail recipes in there as well, along with other like music related articles and that kind of thing. And so he contributes a lot to the site. Ian does as well. And I contribute to the Movies Merica Mad Libs to the website here recently, and I'll go more in depth in that later on. But yeah, as you can see right down there at the very bottom, if you use promo code TDPN, you get 1 month free membership at tdpn.locals.com. And you know what? You're going to get access to all kinds of great content presented to you in a way that you will not get anywhere else. Let me repeat that. You will not get it anywhere else like this, okay? Not at all. And so, yeah, 1 month free membership. What can beat free, right? Unless we pay you, and we're not doing that. We're not paying you. We're not going to go that far with it, okay? But yeah, we'd love to have you on tdpn.locals.com. And then after that free month, it's like what, $3, at $3 minimum. That's nothing, right? Okay. That's an evening with the McDonald's value menu right there. Okay. That's a box of Twinkies, okay? Or a box of ho-hos if you're Kamala. Okay. So but yeah, tdpn.locals.com. Check it out. Absolutely. Okay. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the showdown between the Equalizer and John Wick. I mean, do you think like I'm full of shit and I'm way off base and totally wrong and that kind of thing? Because hey, you know what? I can take criticism, no problem whatsoever with that. Okay, I've been wrong before, not in this case. I'm totally right on the Showdown thing, but I've been wrong on other shit. Okay, right there. So, but yeah, the Equalizer 3. Again, I always like to warn everybody. Is there any woke content in movies? Okay, is this movie a woke after school special? Because as we see with so many movies nowadays, not all movies, but with a lot of movies, they want to sneak in a woke after school special in there. And it's my job, or one of my jobs, it's one of my duties to warn you, okay, do my part for my fellow man, to warn you, hey, is this a movie? Is this a woke after school special disguised as a movie? Is teaching you a woke lesson priority number 1, and entertaining you is like priority number 47. Okay, if that's the case, I want to warn you. Okay, but when it comes to the Equalizer 3, is it a woke after school special? No, not at all. Okay. Like I said before here in the spoiler-free review, Robert McCall in the Equalizer movies, he gives the goons 9 seconds or else, right, before he screws them up, before he fucks them up. And you know what? If I would have just cut right to the chase, I wouldn't have even needed 4 seconds to tell you that the Equalizer 3 is not a woke after-school special at all. Okay. Now this movie, if you saw it there, I'm sure you guys noticed all the bombastic, bloody violence, and it was glorious. Okay, so if you like horror movies like I do, I mean, I like the Halloween movies, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, all the classics, The Conjuring. Well, that's kind of a not as good an example, but all the slasher movies, right? This movie kind of combines like the action genre with the horror genre, with just the bloodiness of it. I mean, you get shotgun blast to the head, cleavers in the face. You're shooting rounds at someone else through someone's head. You get baddies being crushed by cars, heads just plopping off. Like towards the end of the movie, when he's taking out the main baddie, and the bad guys like walking through his mansion, and he's just seeing all his goons, all his henchmen. They've all been killed by the Equalizer. And he walks by one, and then one in the head off of one of them just kind of just plops off. Like it's been just kind of sitting there dangling, and then it just kind of plops off and rolls on the floor. I'm like, what the hell? It's kind of like that, Dumb and Dumber, like times are tough. I lost my job. Our pets' heads are falling off. So yeah, I just thought it was funny. Like these guys just walking through his little living room or something, and all of a sudden, yeah, this guy's head just plops off. I know I've got a very morose sense of humor. And then also in one scene, you get a handoff. Trevor, we're going back to the football thing. You get a handoff. Oh, but it's not the football kind in one scene. So yeah, for one character in this movie, yeah, it does not go well for them in the hand department there. So yeah, it's pretty much like an action horror movie, really. But instead of horny teenagers at some campground somewhere getting slashed by some dude in a hockey mask, it's Sicilian mobster baddies that are getting sent to the suite by and by the Equalizer here in this case right here. So the Equalizer is pretty much more like Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers in this, just coming out of the shadows to dish out death from the darkness, so that kind of thing. And now I also mentioned in my spoiler-free review that if you want to see a better movie that does the horror/action movie so much better than the Equalizer 3, watch the movie The Guest. Okay. Now, the title of the movie sounds so dull, so boring. I mean, I know it sounds like some art house 18 or some art house 1800s Victorian English drama shit, right? So like everyone's at a fucking tea party. The Guest, boring title, but it's a great fucking movie. It's fucking fantastic. Okay, it's like an action horror thriller that's set at Halloween, and it came out like what 9-10 years ago, but it was purposely edited and filmed to look like an 80s horror movie. Okay, it's got like really cheesy 80s synth music to it. It's just fan-fucking-tastic. Okay, and you could find it on streaming. Again, it's called The Guest. It stars Dan Stevens, and yeah, he's just basically plays like this soldier that shows up, suddenly at this family's house, and the family is the family of one of his fellow army, members of the army, okay, fellow soldiers in the army, okay, and so their son, the family he's visiting, their son died in combat, okay, or so they think, and so he fought along their son, and he shows up and he basically says, hey, hey, I'm here. I served with your son Caleb, and he just wanted me to let you guys know that he loved you, and so he's just there for the family, right? Or so it seems. And then that's the jumping off part of the movie, but it just it just turns into this fantastic, just totally fucked up action horror thriller. I mean, it's just fantastic. It's funny. It's got a biting wit to it. So yeah, The Guest, man, definitely check it out. Hey, Yoma63, I appreciate you joining here. So it looks like he's got a scoot. Yeah, check. Hey, join me again here next Thursday. Gonna be. Hey, you know what? That reminds me. It's gonna be World War Z for next Thursday. Okay, World War Z is gonna be the subject of next Thursday's Movies Merica spoiler warning, and I'll have a World War Z spoiler-free review coming out this Sunday. Now, probably a lot of you have seen World War Z, and so every once in a while, I'm going to be, I do movies that have been out for a while, that kind of thing. Because sometimes there is just nothing good, okay, that comes out in the theaters. And I'm not one of those movie reviewers that is going to go out and go out and check out shit, okay, at the movie theater. I'm not going to do that, okay. I would rather bring a review of something that I'm pretty confident a lot of you guys like, okay. And so I will go back in the memory banks. I will go back in movie history and review some good movies. So you see me do it, before here. I've reviewed like the Russell Crowe movie Robin Hood. What are some other ones? I've reviewed here some old ones, like if you go way back to my audio only episodes, I've done a lot more retro reviews, like True Romance and the Christopher Nolan, the Dark Knight trilogy, that kind of thing. So, but anyway, so all that to say is, World War Z will be the topic of next week's episode there. So, okay. All right. Hey, you know what? I'm getting a little thirsty. Are you guys getting thirsty? Hopefully you guys are drinking. Okay. Hopefully you guys are drinking there. You guys are tossing something back there, beer, bourbon, whatever. Okay. I don't want to. Maybe it's you want bourbon, you want scotch, you want a beer. Maybe you're George Thorogood. Okay. And that's how you roll. Okay. But hey, let's get right into Brew review time. All right, everybody. So without further ado, let me hold up my friend here. This is Belhaven Scottish Ale. And this comes to us, as you would imagine, from our friends over across the pond in Scotland. Okay. And that's just brewed from like 100% optic and crystal malt here. So it gives it like really like this smooth, smoky flavor. And to some of you, that might sound gross, but no, it's a very smooth, smoky flavor, but in a very good way. Okay. And it's got this kind of sweet and spicy aftertaste to it, to be honest with you. And it's got like 5.1% alcohol by volume, something like that. What do we got here? 5.2 alcohol by volume. And it's brewed at the Scotland's oldest working brewery. Okay, so they've been doing this for a while. And this brewery is like right next to this monastery that's been around since like 1150 AD. Okay, so these guys have been in the beer game for a while. Okay, and this personally is like one of my favorite go-to beers. When I want something a little heavier than just like your common lager or something like that. I mean, I'll down a Dos Equis or something like that, or something a little lighter every once in a while. But sometimes you want something a little heavier, so you want something like a Scottish ale. And Belhaven is like one of my go-tos for that. And I'm not getting any money from Belhaven Brewery whatsoever. Okay, so it's a totally impartial, uninfluenced review of Belhaven Scottish Ale here. But it's fantastic stuff. So if you want something different than just your mass-produced, because I'm pretty sure my audience is no longer drinking the tranny fluid known as Bud Light, from Anheuser-Busch. You guys have more refined taste. You have more imagination than just drinking that swill, okay? And so if you have more than two brain cells to rub together and you want something a little bit more nuanced, something a little bit more exciting than Bud Light, get yourself some Belhaven Scottish Ale right there. And you know what? It's not going to be the easiest beer to find, so you might have to go someplace like drizzly.com or gopuff.com, which is pretty much, like the Amazon of booze, okay? So even if you live out in the boonies, okay, hey, probably get your hands on some Belhaven Scottish Ale, okay? So, all right, enough yapping about it. I'm a drinking. Oh, yeah. Good stuff. Fantastic stuff there. But, that's a Belhaven Scottish Ale, everybody. Okay, so that has officially been Brew Review Time. All right, everybody. Yeah, hey, since I just did Brew Review Time, hey, let me know what you guys are drinking out there, okay? It's Thursday night. We're coming up on the weekend, okay? The weekend is crawling slowly but surely, closer to us right here. So it's almost time to fully, lift up one of these and celebrate the weekend being here. Okay, so let me get another drink of this. This is just too fucking good, man. Oh, so good. Sweet, sweet beer. Tastes so good when it hits your lips. No, I don't mean that, Barack Obama. Okay. Oh, yeah, Tucker Carlson. I don't even know whether to believe that guy. It sounds like he has zero evidence, but as we all know, Barack Obama, gay as fucking. And that's how your boat floats, by all means. Now, one thing that this movie pushes, the Equalizer 3, that is that the realism level in this is so low. Okay. Now, I realize it's a movie. It's an action movie. It's not a documentary. I realize that. Okay. But there's some movies that want you to suspend your disbelief more than others. Pardon me. There we go. Woo, that Scottish ale. It's hitting me. Pardon me. All right. But yeah, so what Equalizer 3, just the realism factor in it is so low. As far as like what it expects you to accept here. And, at the very beginning, that scene that I mentioned before where he's at the farmhouse in the vineyard and the bad guys have the drop on him. They have him dead to rights. Okay. He's just sitting there in a chair, wiping a wine glass, getting ready to have some vino. Two goons have handguns pointed right at his melon. I mean, they could squeeze the trigger and take his ass out at any fucking time. And so we're supposed to believe like these guys are just, they can't take him out at any time whatsoever. And it just reminded me of that scene in Austin Powers, where Scott Evil, is talking to his dad, Dr. Evil, and it's like, you're feeding him? What are you doing? Like, you're just going to like have them haul Austin Powers off and you're not going to see what happens? You're not going to watch him die? And Dr. Evil's like, no, I'm just going to not watch it. I'm just going to assume that everything went to plan. Come on. And Scott Evil's like, I've got a gun in my room. I'll go get it. I'll be back. I'll put 2 bullets in her head. Boom, boom. Bang, dead, done. And so that's what I was thinking that scene. Like, you just shoot the guy. Now I realize if they shot, the Equalizer, Robert McCall on that, you don't have a movie. Okay. It's like, and it's an Equalizer. Oh, well, what's the runtime of Equalizer? Oh, 7 minutes. Okay. That would be it, but I'm like, don't create scenarios like that. But that's Hollywood. I mean, right? Am I right? That's Hollywood. They just, want to make the Equalizer character look like a badass with something like that. But apparently the goons in these Equalizer movies, they appreciate a monologue more than they do just straight up killing somebody. Okay, they're just like, we could just pull the trigger right here and blow this guy's brains out, but this guy's got a pretty intriguing monologue going on here. I want to hear more. Please, Mr. McCall, please expound. Please go on. Let's hear the rest of this monologue. Okay. Now I'm dead. If only you would have shot him instead of listening to his monologue. But now you're dead. But yeah, that's just one of the things about the Equalizer 3 that I was like, all right, okay, whatever. All right. So, well, you know what? Hey, let me take a little opportunity here to tell you all about Nature Clear. Yes, Nature Clear. Let's fit some Nature Clear in this episode right here because they are nice enough to be a part of this show and to be part of the Till Death Podcast Network. And so Nature Clear, what is it? Well, Nature Clear, it is a powder that you can take before you go out there, before you hit the town, before you shake that booty, or you're going to chillax out on a beer patio. And you take it if you don't want to have to worry about a hangover, if you don't want to have to worry about feeling like stir-fried shit the next morning, you take yourself some Nature Clear. And it's really easy to take. It just comes in these packets right here. Okay, you just take one of these packets and you just dump it in like 12 ounces of water, like basically your typical bottle of water. Okay, just put this in there, shake it up, and then if you want to throw like some lemonade or lemon lime flavored Mio in there to even flavor it up even more, you can do that. So you just drink that before you go out for the evening. Okay, and then you can party in style. You can party without worry because you know that you're not going to get a hangover because you took your Nature Clear. Yes. So, hey, Darth Jason, welcome to the show here. I appreciate it. So good to see you. Thank you for supporting the show. And hey, while I'm thinking about it here, let me know about your favorite Denzel Washington movie here. I was asking everybody else here in the live chat if you would there, my brother. But hey, back to Nature Clear. Sorry. I get sidetracked very, very easily. But hey, if you're out there and you realize, oh fuck, I forgot to take my Nature Clear before I came out here. Well, hey, have no fear. Just take it when you get home. Okay? And then you won't have to worry about a hangover there as well. Okay, so you're good to go. I mean, Nature Clear thought of everything. But it also helps you recover from smoking and vaping as well. I mean, so this is like the Swiss Army knife of recovery. So by now, I'm sure you're wondering, how do I get myself some of this Nature Clear? Well, all you got to do is click on the link in the description down below, the Nature Clear link in the description. Click on that, and just choose whatever Nature Clear products you want, get them in the carts, and then in the cart, put in promo code MOVIES. And you're going to get up to 25% off your next order of Nature Clear, okay? So don't think about it. Just do it, okay? So get in there. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Do it. Do it. All the cool kids are doing it. So there you go. First one's free, as the drug dealers say. Well, the first one's not free in this case, but you know what I mean. All right. So that has been, Nature Clear. Get yourself some of that right there. Okay. Hey, let's get into my favorite part of every episode. All right. And that is the movie military moment. Movie military moment. I definitely want to get into that. And what is the movie military moment? Well, so obviously we have servicemen and women, and they win the congressional. They don't win. They are awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. Okay, so they're in the military. They win the congressional. Like you said, win. They're awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. Well, as you would imagine, in order to win the Congressional Medal of Honor, they have to, whatever they had to do, it was pretty amazing. Okay, just at least visually, right? If you were to see what they did to win that Medal of Honor in a movie, it would be a scene where your eyes would pop out of your head. You'd be like, what the fuck? Wow, holy shit. Wow, this is amazing. Wow, what I'm seeing here. I can't believe this. They should give this guy or this woman a Medal of Honor. Holy shit, you know? And so lo and behold, they give them, they award them a Medal of Honor. That is what I consider a movie military moment, okay? And so tonight's movie military moment recipient is one First Lieutenant Larry Taylor, okay? Now, that name may sound more familiar to you than most of the Medal of Honor movie military moment recipients, because he just got awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor by former Vice President Joe Biden, and he kind of got snubbed a little bit. You guys may have heard the story of that, and so he kind of got snubbed a little bit. So I'm going to give him his proper due right here. But when I say he got snubbed, I'll kind of just show you in case there's anybody out here on the show that has no idea what the fuck I'm talking about here. So, all right, let's get out of that. We already saw that, everybody. Yeah, let's get out of that. We already saw Keanu shooting up shit right there. So, and let's hope that the internet doesn't freeze up here. All right. Okay, there we go. Let's get this going on. You know what happened here? Actually, my mouse froze up. I need to get my mouse plugged in here. Everybody has like a mouse. You ever notice that? Like you're doing something, you're using your mouse on your computer, and all of a sudden you're like, my mouse will not work. Why will it not work? It's not clicking. Nothing's working. So we got to get this going on here. All right, let's get that plugged in. Easier said than done. All right, let's do this. Oh. So you got everybody watching. That's why. There we go. Man, there you go. Apparently I have a hard time finding the hole. There we go. All right, so let's do this. Note to self, make sure my mouse is fully charged up before every show. All right, let's get into this. Here's First Lieutenant Larry Taylor. He's getting awarded his Congressional Medal of Honor. Proud moment for him. He's got to, I imagine he's being kind of this military hero of his. He probably hates all the attention, I would imagine. There's Joe Biden right there. He hasn't served one fucking second in the military, which is really fun. Someone hasn't served in the military. as we still know, he always brags about his son Bo serving the military and tries to make it seem like he served in the military because his son did. Well, normally, the president would stay right there. He would just stand the fuck still and just stay there for the benediction. But Joe Biden decided, no, I'm just going to walk on out. I don't know what I'm doing. What I'm doing at all. And so he just leaves this, award recipient twisting in the wind here. All right. So, yeah, we'll pause that right there. But then, yeah, if I were to keep playing this right here, then we would hear the benediction being read off here, the prayer that they do. And so since, Joe Biden basically had one of his senior moments, basically, obviously he probably thought, oh, hey, I hear there's free pudding and I don't want to miss the free pudding. So I'm just going to like walk off the stage here, and leave this Medal of Honor recipient just standing here by himself, where every other Medal of Honor recipient has the president there to their flank, there to support them. But Joe, he just walked right off the stage. Is that free pudding? You better go. And that's why he probably saw like some people as he was walking out of the room, kind of looking at him like, where the fuck are you going? What the fuck? So, because the guy's just a fucking loser. Okay. And it's again, he didn't serve in the military. So, that definitely lends to, why he doesn't show the proper honor and respect to one First Lieutenant Larry Taylor. But I am going to show the proper respect to First Lieutenant Larry Taylor here. So, all right, we got George Buhar joining us here in the chat there. So, all right, okay. Hey, at least say hi, George, or maybe you already did here, but he's just throwing links in my live chat right there. But hi, George. I'm not sure what that link is to, but okay. But hey, I appreciate you joining us, and feel free to mingle with everybody else. All right. So so again here, so we got our movie military moment. I'm getting off track here, and we've got First Lieutenant Larry L. Taylor. So you know what? For our movie military moment, these honorees deserve their own music. So let's fire up some music. Let's get it going on. All right, wanted to let that breathe a little bit because sometimes when I start the music up and I start talking too soon, like StreamYard that this whole show is on, has a little time with a lag time and it garbles my voice up, so probably still will. But anyway, enough about that. All right. So, for this movie military moment, again, our recipient of this movie military moment is Congressional Medal of Honor recipient First Lieutenant Larry L. Taylor, who served in Vietnam. Let's read on. First Lieutenant Larry L. Taylor distinguished himself by acts of gallantry and intrepidity above and beyond the call of duty while serving with Troop D Air, 1st Squadron, 4th Cavalry, 1st Infantry Division on June 18, 1968, near the village of Ap Co Kong, Republic of Vietnam. On this date, First Lieutenant Taylor commanded a light fire team of 2 Cobra helicopter gunships, scrambled on a nighttime mission in response to an urgent call for aerial fire support from a 4-man long-range patrol team. Upon arrival, First Lieutenant Taylor found the patrol team surrounded and heavily engaged by a larger Viet Cong force. He immediately requested illumination rounds from supporting artillery to assist with identifying the enemy positions. Despite intense enemy ground fire, he flew at a perilously low altitude, placing a devastating volume of aerial rocker and machine gun fire on the enemy forces encircling the friendly patrol. For approximately 45 minutes, First Lieutenant Taylor and his wingman continued to make low-level, danger-close attack runs on the surrounding enemy positions. When enemy fire increased from the village of Ap Do Kong, he requested artillery rounds with lower illumination altitudes be fired on that portion of the village so that the burning rounds ignited the enemy positions. With both Cobra gunships nearly out of ammunition and the enemy still closing in on the patrol team, First Lieutenant Taylor flew the patrol team's potential ground evacuation route, finding it unviable based on the heavy enemy fire encountered. Returning to the patrol team's location, he continued to circle it at a low level under intense enemy fire, employing his searchlight to make fake gun runs on the enemy positions to distract them from the patrol team. Running low on fuel and with the patrol team nearly out of ammunition, First Lieutenant Taylor decided to extract the team with his two-man Cobra helicopter gunship, a feat never before accomplished. He directed his wingman to fire the remaining minigun rounds on the patrol team's east flank. First Lieutenant Taylor then fired his last minigun rounds on the enemy positions, opening an avenue of movement to the east for the patrol team. He directed the patrol team to move 100 yards towards the extraction point, where First Lieutenant Taylor, still under enemy fire, landed his helicopter and instructed the patrol team to climb aboard anywhere they could. With the four-man long-range patrol team seated on rocket pods and skids, he evacuated them to the nearest friendly location, undoubtedly saving their lives. First Lieutenant Taylor's conspicuous gallantry, his profound concern for his fellow soldiers, and his intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty are in keeping with the highest traditions of military service and reflect great credit upon himself, his unit, and the United States Army. We salute you, First Lieutenant Taylor. Thank you for doing everything you did for those soldiers and for our country. And that has been our movie military moment. All right. Yep. Again, I just wanted to give him the due that Joe Biden, former VP Joe Biden, couldn't properly give him during the ceremony here, a couple days ago. So absolutely. All right, check out our live chat here. So yes, Darth Jason, again, thanks for joining there. And Movies really is in the zone every time he does these. I appreciate that. Appreciate the love on that there, Professor. All right. Professor Savage that about the movie military moment. America, fuck yeah, is exactly how these reads make me feel. Yeah, exactly. So, and you had a long time to feel America, fuck yeah, during that read right there, because that was a pretty extensive long read. And unfortunately, there are some Congressional Medal of Honor winners that I don't do on this show here because they don't have a citation because they won their Medal of Honor like back during the Spanish-American War, like really old wars that they didn't have citations written up for them. So unfortunately, they don't make the cut there, but I honor them in spirit nonetheless. But yeah, hopefully you guys like the movie Military Moment. I was in the military, and so that means a lot to me what men and women like First Lieutenant Larry Taylor did. That means more to me than maybe it does for other folks here in our country that we take for granted all too often. Okay, well, let's move on. Yeah, so you know what? Hey, we had our top Denzel Washington movies as a topic out there that I was asking you guys about. And again, hey, in the live chat, if you guys still want to let me know what your favorite Denzel Washington movie is, by all means. But I am about to let you guys know what my top 5 Denzel Washington movies are. And, of course, these 5 Denzel Washington movies are the absolute correct top 5 Denzel Washington movies because they're my choices. And I am always correct and can never be disputed. Okay, yeah, maybe not, but let's get right into it. All right, so yeah, and as Professor Savage, I would say, America, fuck yeah! Let's get into some top 5 Denzel Washington movies. All right, and so we're gonna go in order, 5 down to 1. So number 5 would be American Gangsta. Yes, this is Denzel Washington's team up with Russell Crowe in this movie from 2007, 2008, and this was directed by Ridley Scott. And and Denzel, he had been in a movie directed by Tony Scott, Ridley's brother, called Man on Fire. And then now in this movie, American Gangster, he's in Ridley Scott's movie, Tony's brother there. And yeah, it's just a fantastic movie, where basically he just plays Frank Lucas up in Harlem, and it's all about how Frank Lucas, has this ingenious plan to cut out the middlemen, right, as far as the drug trade in Harlem. And he's like, I'm not going to get my drugs from the Italian mob. I'm gonna go to Cambodia or Vietnam or wherever, right? And I'm gonna get the drugs straight from the source, okay? And because he did that, and he cut out the middleman, he became this drug dealing legend, right? This legendary, I guess, lack for a better way of putting it, a scumbag, right? He's a drug dealing criminal mastermind, and so yeah, by the name of Frank Lucas, and Denzel Washington knocks it out of the park playing Frank Lucas in this movie, and he's his Frank Lucas character has no time for bullshit in this movie. Okay, he deals with all kinds of characters in this movie that aren't as serious about the game as he is. Cuba Gooding Jr. is in this playing just this total fucking drug dealing goofball, and Denzel Washington has to put him in his place. Got Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe plays a cop, that is part of a drug task force coming after Frank Lucas. And when it starts out, Russell Crowe's task force, they don't even know about Frank Lucas, right? They're just after drugs, trying to take down drug dealers, and then Frank Lucas's wife gets him like this very, this outrageous fur coat, right? And they go out to, I think it was a George Foreman fight or something like that, or a Joe Louis boxing match. And so Frank Lucas wears this outlandish, pimped out fur coat that his wife got him. And that gets the attention of Russell Crowe and his drug task force. And Russell Crowe's like, who the fuck is this guy? He's like, all pimped down this fur coat. Like, we better start looking at this guy. And that's the beginning of the end for Frank Lucas, Denzel Washington's character in American Gangster. And yeah, it's just a great, criminal thriller, a crime thriller, and it's just got that epic feel to it. It's just got this epic feel. It's got quite the cast: Russell Crowe, obviously Denzel Washington. It's got the Josh Brolin in it. Chiwetel Ejiofor is in it. Well, I'm amazed I got that name out right. Who else got it? I mean, just too many names. Valeria Golino. Oh God, what the hell's her name? Anyway, just look at IMDb and you just look at the cast list of this movie. You're like, holy shit, he's in it. They're in it. Wow. Okay. So a fantastic movie by Ridley Scott, and yeah, that's my number 5 favorite Denzel Washington movie. And let's move on. All right. Malcolm X is movie number 4. Malcolm X, as you can see right there, a Spike Lee joint. And yeah, this is a movie that really, sent Denzel Washington into the acting stratosphere here. Okay. And just the amount of work that Denzel Washington put into playing Malcolm X in this, you really got to respect it. I mean, no matter what you think about this movie, there's a lot of race baiting in this movie. I mean, I will admit it, but I have to try to ignore that when I watch this movie, because this movie is, amazingly enough, I mean, Spike Lee is not one of my favorite filmmakers, but he does put in some serious work with Malcolm X. And this is one of the few Spike Lee movies that I do like. I liked Inside Man, and Jungle Fever wasn't bad. What's some other Spike Lee movies that I like? Anyway, Malcolm X obviously is one of them there. But so Denzel Washington obviously plays the title character of Malcolm X, and his character starts out, he's a criminal, and he gets thrown in prison. And he converts to Islam, and his life just takes a total 180. He just completely changes himself. And he abides by the teaching of, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and as he calls him, and as part of being the Nation of Islam. And so Malcolm X is, again, it's got an epic feel to it as well, just like American Gangster had in it. And it's, a really good movie. I mean, if you don't know shit about Malcolm X and you're just interested to learn more, obviously, hey, check out this movie. obviously it's a Hollywoodized version of Malcolm X's life, but Denzel Washington just very emotional. It gives a very emotional performance in this, and he really helps you. I mean, Malcolm X in real life, he definitely had his flaws, like Martin Luther King Jr. and others, other icons in history. They're not flawless, right? They have their faults, and Malcolm X is no exception to that. But you definitely start understanding, his character, and start relating to his character, and start, empathizing with his motivations and that kind of thing. And it because he goes from this scumbag criminal character at the beginning to, I don't want to say he's not a mild mannered. He's not a mild mannered character. He's not an introverted character as Malcolm X. I mean, he stands up, right? He's very very extroverted, very outward in his opinions. He has no problem speaking his mind, right? In very bombastic ways. But he's very polite and kind and mild mannered when he's not being that Malcolm X speaking in front of people, right? When he's not giving speeches. And he's just, and I think Denzel Washington just does a fantastic job, portraying this iconic character of Malcolm X. And you know what? Hey, you're gonna get your money's worth, okay? I mean, because this movie is almost 3.5 hours long, and it's got a great soundtrack to it. I think it's another Terrence Blanchard soundtrack that he does the soundtrack for a lot of Spike Lee movies. But Denzel Washington's in it, Angela Bassett's in it, Delroy Lindo, a bunch of Albert Young is in it. A lot of actors in this movie. So, but yeah, Malcolm X. It's a very epic drama, and if you haven't seen it, check it out. I mean, ignore the fact that it's a Spike Lee joint. You could tell it's got some Spike Lee isms in it, but it's kind of more of a historical epic drama. But yeah, check it out. All right. Let me check out live chat. I want to make sure I'm not ignoring everybody. All right. So, okay. All right. Astro Sweat. Yeah, I just appreciate, you guys joining here. So absolutely good to see everyone conversating in the live chat. Definitely. So, hey, I want to see the Reapers get on in here. I want to get more Reapers up in here. I want to get more of the Darth Jason community in here. I want to get everybody in here, I'll tell you. So, because definitely check this out. And again, hey, you know what? If you can't actively watch or listen to the show, hey, just have it on in the background. That's cool. That's all good. All right. So, and if you don't want to get if you don't have to get too extended in the live chat, if you don't want to recite the Gettysburg Address in live chat, just give me a thumbs up, or put a shit emoji or something like that. Fantastic. Yeah. Dark Side. Yeah. Dark Side Radio. Astro Sweat says, yeah. Our Dark Siders, get on in here, peoples. It's the place to be. All right. So, yeah, if you're not going to get in here, man, all I got to do is say,
No, God, please, no, no.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because I don't want this show to
Crash and burn, huh, Mav?
Yeah. So, all right. With that was Denzel Washington movie number 4. That's my fourth favorite Denzel Washington movie. We're gonna move on to number 3, which is, drum roll, please, Training Day. Training Day. Yeah. The first matchup, or the first collaboration between Denzel Washington and Antoine Fuqua, who also directed The Equalizer 3. And so The Equalizer 3 is I think like the 6th or 7th collaboration between Antoine Fuqua and Denzel Washington. But this was the very first, all right, the inaugural collaboration between Denzel Washington and Antoine Fuqua. And who doesn't know Training Day, man? Training Day is a classic, man. Okay, it's only the movie that he won Best Actor Oscar for, right? And he plays Detective Alonzo Harris in this, and it's a training day, as the movie's name, right? Okay, and he's training up the rookie Ethan Hawke. Okay, and little does Ethan Hawke know what he is getting into. Okay, he just thinks like he's auditioning to be on Denzel's squad. He wants to be member number 6 or number 7 on Denzel's squad. He just thinks, hey, it's a training day, right? He's out there, and Denzel's going to show him the ropes, and Ethan's got to prove himself to him. and that's all that this day is going to be about, right? And man, it doesn't take Ethan Hawke long to realize Denzel is not who he expected. Okay, so Denzel he's rough around the edges, he's unorthodox, he just doesn't give a fuck. Okay, and he is just as sleazy and scummy as the criminals he's hunting down. And I love that first scene where Ethan Hawke and Denzel, they first meet in the diner, and for some reason Ethan Hawke just can't sit the fuck still, and he can't shut the fuck up while Alonzo's trying to read his newspaper. Alonzo goes to that whole speech like, "This is my newspaper. It's 90% bullshit, but it entertains me. But you won't let me read my newspaper, so you entertain me with your bullshit." All right, it's that whole thing, that whole fucking scene, and then then Denzel's like, "I'm gonna read my newspaper, okay? Just shut the fuck up." And Ethan's like, "Well, I think I will get something to eat." No, you fucking won't. You fucked that up already. You will not get this that opening scene, and Ethan Hawke, and that scene's got to be like, holy shit. Okay, this isn't some stuffy, by the book, cop that is going to be training me up on this training day. No, this is I'm rolling with this gangsta / cop over here. So Alonzo Harris is training me up, and then the movie just gets more and more entertaining. And just see like just how like low down and dirty Ethan or Denzel Washington's character of Alonzo Harris is in this. But yeah, it's just hilarious. Just the interaction between this, and then you get to see like some cameos in this with that Snoop Dogg is in this movie. And he just plays like this low-level drug dealer, in a wheelchair, and and then Dr. Dre is in this as well. Dr. Dre gets punched out by Ethan Hawke in this, and Peter Green is in this as well. Tom Berenger does a cameo. I guess I don't know if you'd call it a cameo. Harris Yulin is in this movie, playing a judge or something like that in this, like a enforcement or like a senior officer in this movie. It's a badass movie for sure. And and again, like I said, you've got Denzel Washington winning a Best Actor Oscar for this movie. But Training Day, it's my number 3 Denzel Washington movie, Unfolding Joker. Hey, good to see you there, my brother. All right, or my sister. I don't know. There you go. Unfolding Joker doesn't really reveal who you are. Okay, right there. So could go either way, right? But I appreciate you joining me here on Movies America. Spoiler warning. All right, moving on to number 2, right? Glory. Yeah, Glory is my second favorite Denzel Washington movie, just simply because, obviously Denzel Washington's performance in this. This is the first movie where I really, where Denzel Washington got my attention. Okay, his character in this is very multifaceted. Okay, it's you basically at first you just think he's kind of an asshole. Okay, and you're not really rooting for him. But then they have the scene where he gets whipped for leaving the camp and going off to find some shoes, and he gets flogged in front of the troops, and so you basically take off his shirt and you see he's been whipped plenty of times before, and you start just empathizing with Denzel Washington's character in Glory, and he just chews up every scene that he's in this movie, and he gives Matthew Broderick a run for his money in this movie. He just because Matthew Broderick is supposed to be the star of the movie, but he totally gets overshadowed by Denzel Washington and by Morgan Freeman, to be honest, in this. And so Denzel's got that hard edge to him, right? In this movie, you can tell he's been through some shit. Okay, but but he can hold his own. All right, he's a great fighter. He's part of what is it? I'm going to blow this here, but like the 64th Massachusetts, the first all black regiment fighting in the Civil War. And his character just shows this great emotion, particularly again in that aforementioned whipping scene there. And then the scene that they're all in right before the final battle, when they're all around the campfire, all the black troops are around the campfire, and they're singing like the spirituals, and because they pretty much in that scene they pretty much just expect to die, okay, the very next day, because they volunteered to be the front lines of pretty much the suicide mission going into this fort. And so they're like, all right, we're fucked. We know we're going to die tomorrow. And so all the black troops are around this campfire the night before singing the spirituals, and Denzel Washington just gives this great speech of sorts, during that. And, that moment is probably obviously one of the moments that got him his Best Supporting Actor Oscar for Glory in that. So, and yeah, up until then, he was obviously, like I mentioned before, he had been in some movies before this, and he was on St. Elsewhere, but he really hadn't made an impact in Hollywood quite yet, from my knowledge. But yeah, after Glory, yeah, everybody knew who Denzel Washington was, especially after he walked up on stage and he grabbed his Best Supporting Actor Oscar. And then I'm sure at that point, Denzel's agent's phone would not stop fucking ringing off the hook here. So, absolutely. And so that is Glory, and that is my number 2 favorite Denzel Washington movie. So hey, I'm sure your heart's going pitter patter right now. Your heart's beating, faster than it was before. It's just going so fast because you're like so full of suspense. What is Van's favorite Denzel Washington movie of all time? And I'm sure you're totally going to agree with it. Totally. Okay. So, but before we get into that, here, let me leave you guys twisting in the wind while I get a drink. I get parched, everybody. I get parched. This is hard work. Hard work working in the old movies, America coal mines. Yeah, hard work. I think I got the black lung. All this hard work sitting on my ass doing this show for you. Oh, man, so hard. All right, enough jibba-jabba. Enough jibba-jabba for me. Let's move on to my top Denzel Washington movie, in my humble opinion, and that is The Hurricane. Oh, yeah. No, it's not a documentary about the Scorpions, okay? Nope. This is The Hurricane, and this is where Denzel Washington plays Reuben Hurricane Carter. And this is not one of the better-known Denzel Washington movies, okay? But this is another movie where he was nominated for a Best Actor Oscar. He should have won it, but he didn't. And this is a movie where he plays a wrongly accused boxer in Paterson, New Jersey, I believe is where that takes place, named Reuben Hurricane Carter. And some people get killed at a cafe or a diner in Paterson, New Jersey, and it's reported that it's just a couple of black guys. And so Reuben Carter, he's just he's left one of his matches, or was at some party, because he's at this point he's a well-known boxer. He's well known enough. He's got a nickname of the Hurricane, right? And so Reuben Hurricane Carter is a celebrity of sorts, and he's either leaving a match, I forget, or he was at some party celebrating him or something like that, and he leaves with another black guy there to whatever. He's going home, whatever. Okay. And so after the police discover these people have been shot in this diner, and it's reported to them there was a couple of black guys that did it. Well, unfortunately for Denzel Washington, or for Reuben Carter, him and his buddy, they get stopped by the cops as they're driving, Carter home, and his buddy's driving, not Reuben. And so these racist cops decide to pin the murder on these two black guys that, as the movie as it unfolds, obviously Reuben Carter and his friend didn't do it, okay? But they just pin it on him, and it's all about Reuben Hurricane Carter wrongfully being in prison, and then these people that heard his story fighting to get him out, okay? And this story is so famous, even Bob Dylan did a song called The Hurricane, okay? And so if you check that out, I mean, if you don't know the Bob Dylan song, The Hurricane, if you play it, trust me, you'll be like, oh, that song. Okay, why didn't we know that was about this boxer, Reuben Hurricane Carter? Oh, okay, all right. Yeah. Let me check out live chat here while I'm going. Unfolding Joker says John Q was good. Yeah, John Q was very good. Robert Duvall was in that with Denzel Washington. Yeah, and again, Denzel Washington was the best part of John Q. As you can say with a lot of movies, the movie may be mediocre, but Denzel Washington makes it worth checking out. Astro says Samuel L. Fishburne and Lawrence Jackson seem to get mixed up all the time. Yeah. Don't say that in front of Samuel L. Jackson, because I think he was doing an interview one time, or someone accidentally called him Lawrence Fishburne, and of course he predictably goes, "Oh, all us black people all look the same to you, right? Oh yeah, I knew it. Whew, that was the last mistake that guy ever made, mistaking Samuel L. Jackson with Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah. Hey, dear Sarge, I appreciate. Yeah, you just shot Therapy Range a text to tune in. I appreciate it. Yeah. Hopefully we see Therapy Range join us here in the live chat. Yeah, definitely. But again, yeah. Any time you can give me to join in. This thing's going to go what 2.5 hours. I don't expect people to watch for the whole time. Come on. I mean, if you do, you're a trooper. You're a fucking champ, and I appreciate it more than you know there. But or if you can just have the show on again, as I keep saying, have the show on in the background with the volume off. That's cool as well. But yeah. So as I was saying, yeah. So Reuben Hurricane Carter gets wrongfully imprisoned for murders that he didn't commit, and unfortunately, the poor sap that volunteered to drive him home because I think Reuben Carter was, a little too tipsy, right, to be behind the wheel. And so this guy, like Reuben Hurricane Carter, was like a hero to him. He's like, oh my God, I get to drive Reuben Hurricane Carter home. Oh my God, this is so great. And then next thing you know, he's being thrown in prison for like 25 years or whatever. So like, wow, worst decision he ever made, right? But yeah, so later on in the movie, maybe I can't remember if it was because of the Bob Dylan Hurricane song, but a group of Canadians, no less, they hear the story of Reuben Hurricane Carter, and there's a little black kid, not a little black kid, but it's like he's maybe he's like late teens or something like that, and he's up in Canada, and I guess he's learning to read or something like that, and so he picks up the book because Reuben Hurricane Carter, he wrote a book in prison about his story. And so he picks out this book of that Reuben wrote about his story, and he reads about Hurricane's story, right? And he's reading about it, and the story just captures his attention. And so he goes to this group of Canadian white people. They're all white people, if that matters to him. But anyway. But they're just helping this young black kid, just trying to help him have a better life and whatnot, and that kind of thing. And so as part of that, they're like, hey, let's improve your reading skills. And then that's where he picks up Reuben Hurricane Carter's books. Well, again, so this kid, he reads Carter's book, and then he goes to this group of people that want to help him out, that he's established this connection to, and they clearly care about him too. And he's like, man, we really got to help this guy. This Reuben Hurricane Carter, we're going to help this guy. This guy's wrongfully in prison. And this group of people, I believe they're like pre-law students, or they're law students, or maybe they've graduated law school. And so they read the story too, and they're like, man, we got to help this guy out too. And so they band together to help out Reuben Hurricane Carter. And it is just a fantastic story and very emotional. And man, it'll hit you. It'll hit you. So, and it's not a surprise that Denzel Washington did get nominated for Best Actor, because he just totally just gives his all in this role. And there is just so many heartbreaking moments in this movie. Just fantastic moments in this movie. And just his relationship with the kid, man, gets you. It definitely gets you. So, and definitely check that out. So yeah, The Hurricane, it's a great movie. It is by far my number one Denzel Washington movie there. So yeah, and I think you could probably find it like on streaming or HBO or whatever, okay, or Max or whatever they're calling it now. But yeah, just it's a fantastic movie, and you're gonna get your money's worth with this movie because it's like 2.5 hours long. It's just yeah, you're gonna be joining me next week if you watch the hurricane between now and next week's episode, and you're gonna come back and you're gonna be like, Van, thank you very much, man. Thank you, my brother, for recommending the hurricane. Great movie. I'm sorry that I didn't watch it sooner. Okay, I'm building up this movie quite a bit, but I'm building it up for a reason because it's fucking awesome. Okay, definitely check it out. So. All right, so there we go. We got some more people joining us here. So, and one thing I'll let everybody know. Hey, if you're gonna just drop links in the chat, at least like say hi to everybody first. Okay, get to know everybody first. Say hi to me, or you don't even have to say hi to me. It's like just say hi to everybody. All right, don't just be dropping links in here. And I apologize in advance if you dropped the link and you were talking to folks earlier up in the live chat and I might have missed it. That's entirely possible. But anyway, show some class. Like don't be one of those people that just shows up and drops links. Okay, that's amateur hour. That's a douchebag move. So, but anyway, so yeah, that has been my top 5 movies of Denzel Washington of all time. Okay, so let me know what you guys thought of my choices in there. You know, maybe you're like, oh my, where did you get that list from there, Van? You missed this movie and you missed that movie. What the hell are you thinking, man? Like, where the hell is Philadelphia? Where's Courage Under Fire? Well, those 2 movies almost made the list, okay? You know, Crimson Tide almost made the list as well. Crimson Tide's a great movie, fantastic movie. But just, I mean, I limited myself to 5, okay, because we don't have all night people, okay? So yeah, so they didn't quite make the top 5, but they were so close, so close there. But what do we got here? Woo, yeah, we got some others joining us here. So we got Patriots Shit Outfitters. If I'm reading that right. He can't chat, but he's driving. But hey, man, I appreciate you joining. There. And anytime you can give me fantastic. And hey, hopefully I'm keeping it entertaining there for you. Okay. And again, hopefully, like I said before, if it's going.
She's gone from suck to blow.
Yeah, let me know. I don't want the show going from suck to blow. Okay, absolutely. So that has been my top 5 Denzel Washington movies. And let's get that on out of there. Yeah. Okay, so what do we got? What do we got going on? What else is on the docket, everybody? What else? Because we're getting ready to wrap this up. Okay. All right. Let's check out the live chat. Make sure I want to make sure everybody's accounted for. Everyone's signing in. All right. So, okay. All right. Let's see what else we got here. You know what? Hey, I kind of teased it before when I was talking about tdpn.locals.com, and that is my Movies Merica Mad Libs endeavor that I've got going on here with the tdpn.locals.com. And the Movies Merica Mad Libs, what is that? What do you guys remember doing Mad Libs when you were a kid, right? You get the little pad, the Mad Libs pad, and you got the paragraphs. You can fill in different words in there. And if you were like me, I mean, you got pretty skanky and dirty and pornographic, you're nasty because I was a little heathen when I was a kid. Okay. You just putting raunchy shit in there, and it's like you get your Mad Libs and like Billy was given some money to go to the booby store. And then when he got to the booby store, he saw his friend Frankie, and Frankie was sitting there reading a Playboy magazine. Just like it's sophomore, stupid, dirty, raunchy words. You'd fill those in, and so that's how most people did Mad Libs back in the day when you did that. Well, now I have Movies America Mad Libs that you can check out, and I am going to show you what that is. So let's check this out, and I'll show you the Movies America Mad Libs. Because like you're hearing me talking about it, you're like, okay, well, yeah, but what the fuck is it? It's like I don't want to just let's do that again. There we go. Got to be smarter than the computer, everybody. Got to be smarter than the software. And apparently, I've had too many Bellhaven Scottish ales here for me to get this right. Okay, so all right, let's do this. and share the old screen. Okay, so Movies America Mad Libs. Here we go. Here we go. Are you ready? All right. So, yeah, here's tdpn.locals.com that I was telling you about earlier that you can go to right now. And if you put in promo code TDPN, you get 1 month free of this tdpn.locals.com website. And right now we have the Movies America Mad Libs going on here. And so this is what this is I have created 3 characters. I've created this movie script, okay? And so I'm just, you know what? I'm just going to make it easy on myself. I'm just going to read this off right here. So, hey there, our much appreciated TDPN local members. You have more than earned the right to party and to help write the soon-to-be hottest movie script circulating in Hollywood. Below is the beginnings of the second scene in the very first script in our Movies America Mad Lib series. I've created the 3 characters for whom I've provided characterization of for you below. I've also written the first lines. However, this is where you come in. I need you to write more lines for each character to continue just this particular scene. You just have to put your lines in the comments below, which I'll show you that in a second here, below this post. At least 1 line for each character, please. So feel free to write as many lines for each character as you want. Then myself and then Ian and Sean, that you guys see on the Whiskey Capitalist podcast, we have to basically look at all your submissions, and we'll pick the one that we think will have Hollywood banging down our door in between lines of coke and casting couch auditions, okay? So, yeah, feel free to use my lines that you'll see here below to get an overall vibe of the script, okay? So, let's get right to the further down here in this, okay? All right. So, obviously, this is what a script looks like, a movie script looks like, okay? So, we fade in, exterior, and this scene is outside the Mar-a-Lago main gate during the day. And as you can see here, here's our 3 characters that I've created. Here we have, first off, Holster McKenzie. He's a 54-year-old, hard as nails, blabbermouth, balding hitman who carries weaponry in a spare tire from too many Guinnesses and has a scar from a hit gone wrong. He may look like a balding, well-armed weeble-wobble with a cheap blazer on, but he's got unnatural old man strength and an even stronger filthy wit worthy of 10 bars of soap in the mouth. Right now, he's sweating profusely and frantically trying to get out of a piece of shit Uber while trying to keep breakfast from coming back up. And then our second character is Patsy Penicillin, who is a frumpy, bleach blonde, 58-year-old hairdresser / whore with the face of a well-used baseball mitt who makes a champagne room out of wherever she's at. The pub uses her to provide bottle service, but it isn't a bottle service you're thinking of. She's like the town bicycle. Everyone's ridden her and chipped their 2 front teeth doing it. She provides blowouts at her salon and at the pub. Currently, she's in the same Uber with Holster, wiping the blonde hair coloring dripping down her forehead with a rag. And then our final character is Nigel Nightworm, who is a not-so-bright, bone-thin, British 59-year-old with long gray hair who was a once promising punk rocker who even had Rolling Stone magazine interview him. He was hailed as the next Sid Vicious or Johnny Rotten. He was a dream of all women and the nightmare of hotel housekeeping staffs. It all went downhill, though, after he was caught nailing Princess Di in his trailer at Wembley during Live Aid. The royal family saw to it that he was Meghan Markled out of the music business. At this particular point in time, he's stuffing cigarettes up his nostrils to smother a putrid stench inside the Uber alongside Holster and Patsy. And then basically, here's the first few lines that I've written to get you started off, okay, in this Movies America Mad Libs, okay? So we have Holster saying, Jesus, the inside of that Uber smelled like a bunch of fucking bananas incubated inside Lizzo. You know, so you got to say like the humor that I'm going for in this script right here. So yeah, as you can see, I've got the first few lines here, okay? And then Patsy's last line is, this is so exciting. It's not every day you might get to meet, and then that's where you people come in. That's where you find future writers come in. You have to put in who they're meeting there outside of Mar-a-Lago, okay? And yeah, just write one line per character at least, okay? You can write as many lines as you want. It just has to be one line per character, okay? Because they're talking to each other, right? And then, yeah, then you just come down here into the comments, and that's where you'll put in your lines. So you just put in your lines, right? Leave a comment, just put in your lines for each of those characters up above. And that is the Movies Merica Mad Libs, everybody. That's what that is all about, okay? So, because, yeah, when I say Movies Merica Mad Libs, it's kind of an abstract idea. You're like, what the fuck is a Movies Merica Mad Libs? Like, you got some splaining to do, Van. You got some splaining to do. Okay, well, I just did my splaining, okay? And, yeah, I really want to see you guys getting into tdpn.locals.com. And, again, like I said, you know what? You can cheat the system. You can do the ultimate life hack. And you can get in there and you can put in promo code TDPN and get a free month. More than enough time to get in there and write your lines as part of this Movies Merica Mad Libs script, okay? And then if you want to see scene 1, because obviously as you see, it's scene 2, you can go in here and you can just type out, let's go back here. So as soon as there we go. Let's do that. Let's get out of here. My internet's dicking around on me here. All right. So you can come up to search here and just type in Mad Libs, okay, right there. And it'll show you all the Mad Libs entries in here. So, man, this internet is not breaking any speed records here tonight, okay? So, yeah, here's scene 2. And then down below, there's scene 1. So if you want to read scene 1, but we're not taking any lines for scene 1. We are past that. But anyway, so yeah. So with scene 2, after you read your lines or write your lines, then me and Ian and Sean, we have to read off those lines as those characters on this show. We're going to do a live table read of your lines. And so you can get in there and you can write lines in the script as debauched and nasty as you want, okay? So if you guys are having a bad day at work, you know, the man's got their boot on your neck, get in the Movies Merica Mad Libs and do your worst. Take it out on us, okay? And then, yeah, we're on this show, Movies Merica Spoiler Warning. We're going to do a live table read, and one of us is going to have to be Patsy Penicillin. I was Patsy Penicillin, unfortunately, for scene 1. And, yeah, so I might have to be her again for scene 2. And so, yeah, so I'll have to do my Patsy voice. And then Ian and Sean will be the other characters, okay? There, okay? So, but yeah, so definitely get involved, get in there and have some fun with it, because you guys get to have control. You guys get to, you guys got, a kind of a messed up imagination like I do. Hey, you can put it all there in the script. Or if you want to be, it doesn't have to be nasty and dirty and raunchy. You can, be, pure and virtuous and all that in your script writing. That's fine. So perfectly cool. All right. So I think I have explained that to death, huh? Yep. Yeah, Movies Merica Mad Libs. That is what that is. Okay. So I think we're getting ready to wrap it up, everybody. Getting ready to wrap it up here, and let's get this going on. Oh, there we go. Okay. Just all kinds of activity going on here behind the scenes of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning, okay? So, but you guys don't want to know how the sausage is made, and neither would I, okay? But, so we're getting ready to wrap this up. First off, just before just so I don't forget to let everybody know, I just appreciate everyone joining me here tonight, especially the live chatters, getting in the live chat. I see all of you out there. I appreciate that. And yeah, so just go, yeah, so we got the crew in the live chat. I appreciate that. So, yeah, Unfolding Joker, a very uneventful night on Rumble tonight. Glad you caught at least the end of this stream. And he says, pretty cool thing you've got going on in here. I appreciate that, Unfolding Joker. Appreciate the love on that. So, yeah. Patriot shit equals therapy range when he's mobile. Okay, there we go. Excellent. All right. Hey, Professor Savage, have you decided like when your dad cast is going to be on? Is that going to be tomorrow or Saturday? Let the nation know, okay, for everybody on here, okay. And Dear Sarge says, teamwork, bitches, yeah, yo, teamwork, biatch, yeah. Okay, let's wrap this bad boy up here by me first mentioning www.moviesmerica.com. So that's the web. That's my website where you can check out my audio-only versions of my spoiler-free reviews that come out every Sunday. And so that's if you want the audio-only reviews. So if you want to check out my spoiler-free reviews without checking out, this mug, you can check them out at moviesmerica.com or Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, anywhere you can imagine you can catch podcasts here. And if you watch them out on Apple, or watch them, if you listen to them on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, give it 5 stars if you would. That'd be fantastic. And out on Apple Podcasts, if you go up to the very top, there's like the 3 ellipses, the 3 dots, the ellipsis. If you click on that, just choose follow and follow Movies America out there on Apple Podcasts. I'm sure there's probably something like that on Google Podcasts and iHeartRadio where you can follow or subscribe or whatever, okay? So, but that's if you want to listen only. But why would you want to listen only when you can watch me? Come on, don't deprive yourself of that pleasure. Professor Savage Dad says Tadcast is going to be Saturday nights. Yes. So Saturday night's not just all right for fighting. It's going to be all right for Dadcast. All right. So, and what time there, Professor Savage Dad? What time? Let us know. Moving on to me on the socials. So I am on X. I know it says Twitter there, but it's X and an Instagram. At Movies America is my handle on there. So you can check me out there on X or Instagram. Now, if you check out my Movies America page on X, that's one of the easiest ways to get links to this show on Thursday nights, and then also to get links to my spoiler-free reviews that come out on Saturday or on Sundays. Sunday afternoons typically is when the spoiler-free reviews come out there. At least Sunday afternoon for me, Central Time, as well. So, or there, and then also I put my my X. What do they call them? Posts now. I put my posts out on X, Instagram. You can check me out there as well. I'm on Facebook as well under Movies America. All right, so enough of that. And moving on to tdpn.locals.com, which I just told you all about. It's our website with all our fantastic content. Check all that out and get into the Movies America Mad Libs. Now, that's going to be going on, I think, for all of September. And then I think October 1st, we're going to cut that off. So you got until October 1st, I believe, to give us your lines with Movies America. Spoiler warning. All right. Moving on to the merch. Yes, every great empire has to have merch, and the Till Death Podcast Network Empire is no exception. And so we have fantastic, marvelous merch for you, okay? Because, hey, you know what? Kwanzaa is right around the corner, okay? And I know you want to shop for your loved ones for Kwanzaa. And, you can get down there in the merch store and do all your Kwanzaa shopping. You don't need to go anywhere else. Just the merch store for Till Death Podcast Network. So, click on the link down in the description, or if you want to memorize that link right there, by all means, go for it. We got great merch. We got shot glasses and phone cases and T-shirts and anything you can think of. Okay, probably not a Till Death Podcast Network particle accelerator. I don't think we have those. Those are coming out next week. Yeah, the particle accelerators. Okay, but not yet. Okay, 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Is that that's Central Time there, Professor Savage Dad for Dadcast? I'm not sure. Anyway, so get yourself some merch. Do it. All right, and then here we have at Till Death Network. Solo.to/Till Death Pod Network. Okay, and what's there? Well, that's all the links that have to do with the Till Death Podcast Network. So if you don't have to hunt and scrape all over the Al Gore's worldwide interweb for all the Till Death Podcast Network links, you can just get them right at that one location right there. Okay, solo.to/Till Death Pod Network. Moving on. Solo.to/Till Death Studios. That's where you can go if you want to get into the content creation game, the showman game, like myself and Ian and Sean and Darth Jason, in the chat, and Kang and all of our friends here on Rumble. If you want to get into that game and you want to have like cool visual flair, like on Office Space, like the overlay up at the very top, it says Movies America and tdpn.locals.com, or the background that you see there, the background behind me, the Movies America background, or like the intros that you saw at the very beginning. If you want cool shit like that to go with whatever content you're going to create, then yeah, get in touch with my man Ian at solo.to/Till Death Studios, and he will hook you up with his genius. Okay. All right. And next on the docket, solo.to/I'm Sean Cav. And that's where you can go and find all the links that have to do with Sean Cav, our man Sean that you hear on or see on the Whiskey Capitalist podcast. Yeah, and he's got his Sipping with Sean show that comes out every other Friday afternoon for me, Central Time. So I'm not sure what time that would be for you, but it's like every other Friday. He does the Sipping with Sean show where he gives us some great cocktail recipes and perspective on the events of the day from a dad perspective. And yeah, and sometimes he does it remotely. Sometimes he'll be like out on a porch swing or out in a campground or something like that. Or he'll be at Cav's Tab, his bar that he has. Yeah, fantastic show. It's called Sipping with Sean. So yeah, so that's where you go to get the links to find out when that next episode is going to be a Sipping with Sean. All right. Next, we have solo.to/The Whiskey Capitalist. And as you can find all the links for the Whiskey Capitalist podcast show that you guys check out every Monday and Wednesday evenings. Okay. And yeah, all the links there to click to get to this site for the Whiskey Capitalist podcast and that place for the Whiskey Capitalist podcast. And so yeah, just get to solo.to/The Whiskey Capitalist for that purpose. Right there. Okay. All right. So yeah, so Professor Abbott's dad, his dad cast is going to be on Saturday night at 8 p.m. Arizona time. So yep. So check that out. Okay. All right. And then last but not least, we have solo.to/Till Death Podcast. And that's where you can find all the links for the Till Death Podcast that Ian and his wife Jen do every other Saturday. And they give you their perspective from the husband and wife perspective about the events of the day, the hot sizzling topics of the day, and some funnies and that kind of thing. They just got to give it their marital flair, their marital perspective to all those topics and whatnot. And it's never boring, never dull. Definitely check that out. The Till Death Podcast. Every other Saturday afternoon is when it's on for me here, and I am in the Central Time Zone, as I keep saying there. Okay, yeah. So, but yeah, check out Dark Side Radio. Darth Jason, his show out there as well. I mean, you definitely want to check out that show. Got all kinds of great shows to check out on the on Rumble. Right there, just all kinds of fantastic shows. And then again, this next episode is going to be next Thursday at the same time as well. And so we've got all kinds of great shows here. We got what else we got that definitely want to recommend to you all. So yeah, we got just check, just get on Rumble. Okay, YouTube is not where it's at. Rumble is where it's at. And that's where you're going to find all these cool shows like the ones on the Till Death Podcast Network and Dark Side Radio and whatnot. So absolutely. But yeah, I just want to thank everyone for joining me. Let's see what kind of comments we got here. What do we got here? Hey, we got a hello from RL. Hello, RL. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. And they go on and ask, are you still reviewing the Equalizer 3? Yes, well, I'm beyond that point in this particular show, but this is being recorded, so you can check out the recording of this show and check out my commentary on the Equalizer 3. Now, this is a spoiler-filled review of the Equalizer 3, but this show is kind of more like just my commentary after the fact of the Equalizer 3. My quote-unquote, my full, what you would call a review of the Equalizer 3, that's on the Movies America page on Rumble, okay, and or if you want to watch it on YouTube, if you look up Till Death Podcast Network on YouTube, and you'll find the Movies America episodes there as well. Or you could just go to Movies America on Twitter, and right there, that's a nice, easy way to find all my episodes, including my Equalizer 3 spoiler-free review there, RL. So, but great question. Thanks again for joining. All right, Professor Savage Dad, throwing some love my way. Good show, my man. I appreciate the the love on that. So absolutely. And Darth Jason, damn straight. You sound like me. That's how I talk right there. So, because yeah, we're both classy gentlemen. Absolutely. All right. So, hey, everybody, with that, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya.
Hey, everybody! Hey! I got the police after me. They're coming after me, okay? But I got just enough time to ask you. Just like this video, if you would, and then subscribe to this channel, okay? I'm gonna be in handcuffs pretty soon. I gotta tell you. Hey, so before they haul me off, make sure you watch these videos over here, okay? And thanks for watching this video and the Till Death Podcast Network, okay? I gotta go.